An outdoor staple grown for centuries, and a backyard favorite we look forward to every summer. Potatoes, root tuber perfection from ancient America that has everything we want in a crop. Hardy, robust, easy to grow, and of course, mega harvests. It's just one of those crops that we can't seem to get enough of, and we're always looking for unique ways and places to grow them. Enter the indoor potato growing experiment. Taking the layered level concept to new heights, I planted potatoes indoors this spring and gave them everything that they would normally need to succeed if planted outside: light, soil, water, and nutrients. As far as these plants were concerned, they were happily growing in my backyard and not in my garage. Although the planting was relatively easy, the subsequent growing has not been without its issues. Today is harvest day, and it's time to see what we've grown. I'm excited to see the harvest, whatever it is, and not just because I really love potatoes. I want to get an idea of the practicality and feasibility of actually being able to grow potatoes indoors. Let's see what we get. Before we get started and go digging, I just want to show how we got here. I'll link the previous 2 videos down in the description, but to bring everyone up to speed, here's a quick recap. Early this spring, we sprouted our potatoes with a process known as chitting. You see, new potato plants arise from the potatoes themselves on locations known as eyes. And they sprouted fast, almost too fast. The young potatoes were ready before I was, so we needed to get to work. We quickly got to building using a rectangular design with removable front panels. After it was built and post-planting, this was going to allow us to hill our potatoes to maximize the yield. Potatoes form right around the surface, so if you can continually build up that soil, there's going to be a larger area for the tubers to develop. More room, more potatoes. And so it went, until all the boards were installed and the potatoes were fully planted. Sweet, this is almost too easy. Water periodically and then just harvest, right? Nope, not in this case. As often happens indoors, we had a major aphid attack. Literally every leaf covered with thousands of aphids. Out in my garden, I never worry about insects. All of this complexity here works together in such harmony, it's rarely an issue. Indoors, not so much. So I got to spraying. All natural soap spray, of course, but at the level that I had to spray to get on top of the aphids, it did a number on the plants. The natural soap and oil used in the spray, while not toxic, can clog the stomata of the leaves, and the potato plants definitely suffered. Eventually, like potatoes do, the foliage rebounded. But you know, it made me wonder. It made me wonder how much it set the plants backward and whether or not it was going to affect the final harvest. Either way, growth continued and it didn't hold back. With the boards installed and the top mulched, all we had to do was water and fertilize. I gave them a quick dose of high nitrogen fertilizer right after planting. Liquid, organic, and easy to apply. After that, I switched to a balanced mix for once monthly feedings, also liquid and also organic. All in all, there were 3 feedings, identical to my outside potatoes. Good stuff. And other than the aphid outbreak, nothing out of the ordinary here, which brings us to today, harvest day. Now, potatoes can be harvested generally in 2 ways on 2 different dates. You can harvest baby new potatoes at any time right after flowering. For storage potatoes, however, you don't want to harvest until 2 weeks after all the foliage has died down. Which is where we're at right now. So let's get rid of all this stuff on top and start digging. The old potato leaves and stems are dry and basically disintegrating, so getting rid of them isn't going to be a problem. Those front removable panels that we installed are going to make it easier to see and get to the potatoes without damaging them. Most times potatoes grow at the surface, but you'll always find some deeper down. And outdoors, when I'm digging around, I always damage a couple of them. With this method and being able to see the entire vertical soil profile, we should be able to get at them sideways and keep them all intact. Now, this style of bed and growing method doesn't necessarily increase the potatoes or the size of the yield. Rather, it just makes hilling and harvesting much easier. Okay, let's see what we got. I've gone ahead and let the soil dry out a bit, so it's contracted away from the sides, making the front panels super easy to remove. Right away in the soil profile, I can see potatoes. This is good. Oddly enough though, it's a baby potato. I was actually expecting to see the larger storage potatoes, but nevertheless, we'll continue digging. Pretty sparse pickings at the top so far, not quite what I hoped for. I am finding more random ones though deeper down, but not a single large one. There are a lot of potatoes here though, and it is starting to add up. Getting to the end, still not a single large potato. Now, I can kind of guess why that is, but more on that later. Okay, everything harvested. Let's go ahead and count and weigh them and see what we got. From just 2 potato plants, we harvested 154 potatoes, weighing in at 10 pounds. This gave us an average weight of about 30 grams per potato. Definitely on the smaller side. Now we can crunch the numbers. Not counting the grow tent, the grow light, the wood, the soil, the supplies, the lights were on for about 12 hours a day for 130 days. With electricity costing me 10 cents a kilowatt hour and 300 watts for the light, we burned through 468 kilowatt hours, or about 47 bucks. A trip to the store shows us that non-organic baby potatoes are $2.99 a pound, with the organic ones coming in slightly higher. Even still, our cost of $4.70 a pound to harvest these potatoes is way too high. I certainly think that the aphids had a hand in lowering the yield, but the real biggie here was not getting any of those large, heavy storage potatoes. That's what really affected the overall harvest numbers. Like we said, potatoes are harvested at 2 key times. Once for baby potatoes, then later on for the larger storage ones. Storage potatoes, however, are only created by a combination of the soil cooling down and the plants dying off. Yes, our plants died back, but our soil never got cool. It never experienced those late summer, early fall temperature dips. And that's what really sets up a potato harvest. And because of this, we had 150 smaller potatoes instead of 100 really big ones. Even still, without those setbacks, indoor potatoes is a hard sell. Room and soil requirements, lighting costs, and of course the probability of insect outbreaks. Yes, it was a fun experiment, but not all that lucrative. And I find it pretty hard that it could be scaled up commercially. And for me, I think I'm just going to keep growing my potatoes outside. But hey, if there's a crop that you'd like to see me try indoors in the future, leave it in the comments down below. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support more than you know. And if you're getting value from these videos, please like and share them to spread the word and help your fellow gardener to grow better.